Adams, it's been a while, no doubt about it.
Definitely.
I'm back, happy to be back at the Emirates Stadium, no doubt.
Yeah.
This particular game, you saw the game 2-0 in favour of Arsenal, of course. So many people actually don't see that coming. But did you see the scoreline coming, looking at the rotation of Mikel Arteta today?
Yeah, I mean, I think they played very well in the first half. I thought Smith Rowe had a really good game. Some of his interceptions were very impressive, and he looks like he's staking a claim for the next game. Reece Nelson worked hard as well. I think he did quite well. I've got to say the second half was a bit flat, but we got the job done in the first half, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to put teams away. We didn't concede any stupid goals, which is a plus because we have done this season, late goals, which put pressure on the team in the last few minutes. But no, we did all right. We did okay. An acceptable performance and 3 points. So you've got to be happy with that.
Okay. Looking at Arsenal of last season and Arsenal of this particular season, with all the players fully back, no players on injury at this particular time.
Yeah.
Do you fancy Arsenal chance of winning the league?
I think the Man City performance showed that we can compete with the best this season. And the reason I say that is because defensively we were absolutely rock solid. We're winning these games, which is important. You know, no silly sort of 1-1s or 2-2s. Obviously, we saw the game against Southampton last year, which was ending 3-3. We look much more solid defensively. Attacking-wise, sometimes we're on it, sometimes not quite. But I think the defence might be the difference. And I think games against like Man United away, Tottenham away, those are going to be indicative as to where we finish. But I think we've got a much better chance this season.
Of course, looking at the likes of Partey back, the likes of Gabriel Jesus back, Saka also injured today. Are we fully ready to compete against, Bayern Munich? And also, don't forget our next game is against Brighton. Let's just talk about the Brighton game before we go to the Bayern Munich game. But do you think with what we have seen today and the players that was rested, do you think we can claim all the 3 points on the road against Brighton?
I think we'll have to play better against Brighton. I mean, I think we got a good game in terms of home against Luton. You would expect us to win, even if we don't give a 10 out of 10 performance. I'd say probably today was a 5-6 out of 10, but it was enough to get over the line. I think we'll have to do more against Brighton to win it, because I think they're a better team. I think they're more dynamic. They've got some very good players. They held Liverpool pretty well. They're unlucky, really, to lose that, in my opinion. So we'll have to do more. But do I fancy us to win it? Yes, because I think Arteta will make it very clear that we've got to play better against them. And hopefully Saka's back. Hopefully Gabriel Jesus may start as well. I thought Havertz, although he's done a lot better as the season's gone on, was a bit quiet today. He's making some not great decisions with the ball. So I think Brighton will be a different game. They'll come at us probably a bit more. So it's just about getting those two transitional phases right, the attacking transition and the defensive transition. But yeah, I mean, you would fancy us to win it, I think.
Of course, now looking at the players' performance today, who will be your best, your outstanding player today?
The outstanding player for me today, certainly in the first half, was Smith Rowe. I think he staked a real claim there for a start. And Odegaard was fantastic today. A little, slightly sloppy in the second half, but let's not be too critical because he scored a great goal. He presses well, really, really well. He always works really, really hard, and he's the one encouraging the guys up the pitch, which is really, really good. So I'd probably go Odegaard for man of the match today. Very, very good performance.
What about the return of Thomas Partey? Getting him to see play a full game today. Were you happy with his performance?
Yeah, he was solid. He was certainly solid. He did a good job. I was surprised to see Rice out of the starting lineup. I don't know whether he got a knock against Man City or something like that, but I think having Partey back, I'd like to see Partey and Rice play together, especially in a game where we need to look more at defensive transition. Maybe something like Spurs, that might be a good game for them to play together away, because I think they can be really, really solid playing as defensive midfielders next to each other. But I think Thomas Partey did well. I think it's good to have him back. Let's hope that he stays fit for the rest of the season and into next season as well, because he's a very good player.
Looking at Arsenal's current performance in the Premier League and also in the Champions League, do you think Arsenal should be scared of any team in the Champions League at this moment? The likes of Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, that we're facing in the quarterfinals?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we should fear any team. I think we've shown with the Man City game at the Etihad we can compete even in these tough away grounds. we've got a really good defensive line with Gabriel and Saliba. So if you've got a defence like that, you can compete very well, and the attacking transition comes together when it comes together. So no, we shouldn't play with any fear. We shouldn't fear anybody. Yeah, okay, you've got to respect teams. You've got to respect that teams have their strengths. But I've got a good feeling for Bayern Munich. Obviously, they're not bringing any away fans to the Emirates, so we can have a full stadium of Arsenal supporters. But you know, that man Harry Kane, I'm sure he'll want to get back at us for various things over the years where he's come here with Tottenham and lost. So let's see how we go. But yeah, no, let's be brave, let's be strong, and let's not fear anything or anybody.
Of course, what can you say about Mikel Arteta so far in this season? You know, looking at it towards the end of last season, he lost it. But this season, do you think the boys are, in the right frame of mind to go all the way to finish the season strongly with the way they started the season?
I do think so. Yeah, I mean, I think we don't show the same weaknesses this season to what we did last season. Arteta he was a very good player, but I think he could be a world-class manager, and I think he's showing signs of becoming that world-class manager. Why? Because we're not making the same mistakes that we did last season, and I think he absolutely knows the strengths of the team. He's really got the club together, the fans together, the team together. I think there's a really good spirit amongst the club as a whole at the moment. And I think we could do some good things this season. I mean, I don't want to get too cocky. Cocky's not the right word, but confident is definitely the right word. Let's be confident, let's play to our strengths. And as I said earlier, let's not fear anybody. Let's go into the latter stages of the Champions League and the latter stages of the league thinking that we can do anything.
Just before I let you go, Adams, do you share the same sentiment that say at this point in time the best defensive pair players in the world right now is Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes? Yeah,
I think it would be hard to contest that. I remember months ago I was asked whether Ruben Dias was better than Saliba, and I said Saliba was better, and I would absolutely stand by that. I think we've got a better defensive line than Manchester City do, and Liverpool actually, because you've seen the frailties of Virgil van Dijk a couple of times this season, including the game at the Emirates where he made that mistake. I think Gabriel and Saliba together look rock solid, and I think that sort of defence, I mean, when we won the league in 03-04, we had players like Keown and Kolo Touré and Sol Campbell, and we've got a similar sort of defence now. So a good defence paves the way for winning trophies at the end of the day.
About 8 matches to go, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
If you're one-on-one with the players right now, what will be your message to them?
Believe you can do it. You've done a lot better than the last season. You've really learned lessons, and we can win. We can win the league. We can go far in the Champions League. Believe in how good you are. Believe that you are the fantastic players you are. Look at what you've done so far this season and keep it going. Let's do this.
Thank you so much, Adams. Nice to meet you again. Let's do this. Come on, you guys.